Thundergrunt.
Clarence Potiker, you are under arrest.
Fuck yeah!
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I protected, man.
I got protection.
You have the right to an attorney.
What is this shit?
God damn it!
God damn it.
Listen to me.
Listen to me, you fuck.
There's another guy.
He's OCP. He's the senior president.
Anything you say can be used against you.
It's Dick Jones. You cocksucker.
I work for Dick Jones.
Dick Jones!
He's the number 2 guy at OCP.
OCP runs the cops.
You're a cop?
Yes, I am a cop.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the psychedelic monk said, I'll take 2, and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, where's my whisk, we'll include this bonus disc.
Welcome to Bonus Disc.
Yeah.
I'm Bob Rose, and I'm here with the host of the show, Matt PA.
Are you serious now?
I just stepped it down and throwing it on you now. It doesn't even matter.
Man. Hi.
We are joined by Michael Zaccardi
Hey, guys.
and friend of the show, Sean Jones.
Hello.
And today we watched Biker Boys. No, I'm kidding. Torque. We watched Torque. This is a movie that, how did this get made? The show that we're basically copying off of, or did already. But Matt, I wanted to do this because I wanted you to watch it, honestly.
I've never seen this. I was befuddled almost constantly. Like, I was so fucking disoriented, and I didn't understand what was happening. I was just like, just sat here with my mouth open for probably 50 minutes of this thing.
To the geography, you can't. The story's one thing, the geography's another. You can't tell what's going on.
There were scenes where you couldn't. There wasn't ever not something right in the front. It was even when there was like shit happening in the back. There was something way too close to the fucking shot. I couldn't take it anymore.
There's like 2 wide shots in this movie.
But it starts with all these fucking like.
yeah.
It starts with all those helicopter shots and like all this shit, and that's it. They rented a helicopter for one day and shot those bikes riding on those hills, and they were like, "Fuck it,
Like,
we're
we
out
need
of here."
room for the credits. So
Yeah.
let's
Let's do something wide.
The credits which cast shadows on the movie, which is amazing. I didn't notice that until like the last one. Apparently.
I love Torque. Torque is my favorite movie ever made. Torque
I think
is
that's a lie.
I
no,
think that's
no.
definitely an exaggeration.
Absolutely.
Torque is Starship Troopers meets Easy Rider. And I
That's
love.
actually not too.
I know, and I really love it. I really love this movie, and I'm really happy that Matt got to see it because half the fun is watching the screen, then turning to Matt to see him cry
Yeah.
in pain.
Yeah, you know,
So
you know it was going to be
confused.
good when that opening scene. We'll describe what the movie is in a second. That opening scene when it goes like through the engine into a human eyeball, into fire, out to like a close up.
That was amazing.
insanity.
That was a perfect kickoff for this fucking movie. That was pretty
Could
great.
anybody even describe how that was even made? Like that shot had to be 100% CGI. I don't even.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even know.
Why there was an eyeball in the exhaust pipe? Like what?
No, we were seeing it through his eyes. That's how he views himself.
This
Don't you get? All right.
The symbolism of this movie, man.
There's no symbolism in this movie.
Well,
This was a
commercial-
fucking
like
hour and a half
commercialism.
long commercial.
yo. I'll say this. I mean, I didn't do any research. I don't know if you guys. I mean, we've talked about it, Zaccardi.
Yes, we have.
The director made this as sort of a parody
A piss take.
A piss
A
take
piss take is what he called
of
it.
Fast and the Furious. So it is supposed to be funny.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it
hilarious.
clearly is supposed
It's
to be funny.
Yeah, yeah. In like the way that like the '60s Batman is supposed to be funny. This is to that what to Fast and the Furious what Batman
but
was
then
to.
whoever like edited this and like decided what the shots were gonna be made it even more than that.
Well, if you were
Like,
wondering, where the meth was at the end of the movie, it came to the editor. Got through
Put
it.
this movie together. Ah! We're gonna go through the fucking windows and we're gonna look backwards on half the mirror, but there's gonna be shit going on behind the mirror too. Ah!
I want to
Like,
I want to give them a name. You know all the shots that go through things that aren't significant. Like at the end, we go through a truck. I just want to name those. I want to call those ghost dad shots
ghost dads.
because it's just like all of a sudden you're just
Because
going,
they rape your eyes.
double meaning.
Oh shit!
Yes,
Bill
double
Cosby is a
meaning.
rapist. God
Yeah.
damn it!
Let's get that out of the way right now. The elephant in the room. Talking about Torque. All right, let's attempt to describe what happens in this. It opens up with a car chase that seems superfluous to everything. That seems to exist only to insult Fast and the Furious.
That's it.
We can't see anyone's face except for a human eye.
That shoots out of an exhaust pipe, which we already covered. But like, yeah, it's like these two cars are racing in the middle of nowhere, and you think they're racing, and then the bike shows
They're
up,
just there.
and then they're like, "We hate bikes. Let's fuck up this bike guy instead of racing anymore."
Well, they get to Earl's Diner, right?
Which is
Yes,
manned
sure.
by a lonely, small, dirty child
Child,
that
pumping
who's
gas,
covered in grease and like he's starved.
Yeah, and he's
Which-
dressed like a backwater hick.
Yeah,
That works
he's
at a
even
gas
got
station.
like the bandana in his back pocket. And he's like, "You need some gas, sir." It's like, you feel really bad for this kid because he hasn't eaten in weeks.
And the only adults are like a fat like hick and another hick
Exactly.
who's working like as a chef. That's the only adults on this premises. Everyone else is like
Yeah.
a d-bag biker or like
biker. Yeah.
or just biker. Sorry.
I think we should also note that this lone stranger, this biker, his biker jacket says "Carpe Diem."
it does indeed.
which might be my favorite part of the whole thing. Just the
My favorite
audacity.
shot is the exploding fire slow mo and
Oh.
Carpe Diem coming at you.
Yes. No, it's like fanned out. You just see Carpe Diem so hard. Get it?
It's like
Message.
Carpe Diem and
Message.
Doritos.
Yeah, so okay, his boys, I'm not saying that to be funny.
Wait,
His
no,
boys
well, they don't
show up
yet.
after he beats up the car guys.
The car guys, but that's the best part of the whole beginning because he's like, "Car people, why you all like
Yeah.
this?" Or what did he say?
Car people be like this.
Yeah.
Bike people be all like, "Yeah, man."
He said,
Fucking-
"What is it about you car people?" There was some line.
They were
What
like-
is-
He was like, "Keep it on the
uncivilized.
road, guys," and they were like, "Fuck you, man." And he was like, "What is with you, car people?
right.
You car people."
Yeah, and then he beats the shit out of him, and he forces them to get their windows
Yeah.
cleaned by the hit kid.
But he doesn't do it, which I was upset about.
he just steals
He just
the-
robbed them. He like extorted them into paying a child for nothing at that
He
point.
throws a child their wallet, and the child takes money out of it,
He only takes the $10
He only
that he
takes the 10.
promised,
I mean,
so he
they're-
doesn't take the rest.
even though he
They're-
smashed
they
their
had
windows.
honor.
and
They're
shit.
stupid
Wait.
robbers, but
Those guys are never seen again, right? They
no.
just
Oh,
No, they
wait,
disappear.
I wanted,
No.
There was this is what the befuddling thing about this movie was. When he's beating up that guy, he smashes his head into the window. It cuts to something that wasn't him smash. It cuts to his reflection of his face.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah,
he smashed
yeah.
the guy in the window. Like, it's so confusing. You were like, wait a minute, thought we were
No, it cuts to
smashing
the
guy's
side view
head.
mirror's view of what's happening
Right,
in the
right.
scene from no one's perspective.
Yeah.
Right. You're just like, wait, who are we now?
Yeah, it was,
There's
like,
a lot
nuts.
of that.
If there's an opportunity to be reflected in glass, break glass, or drive on glass,
Right. Yeah.
this movie takes that opportunity.
If there's
why I
glass,
asked-
it's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
It's-
That's why I asked if this guy did Ultraviolet, because there's a shot in
Yes. Oh
Ultraviolet
my
that
God.
made me lose my mind where she's looking at some guy who's like coming to fight her, and she looks at him. They're both wearing glasses. She looks at him, he looks at her, and it keeps zooming through their faces as the reflection turns into the point of view, and it goes back and forth like 6 times. It's insane.
Save it for the next episode.
Yeah, save Ultraviolet for
I haven't
then.
seen
but
Ultraviolet.
It's not
it's
that
like
fun.
this with vampires.
The way Matt,
It's pretty much
Man.
vampire torque.
the way you described it, I just saw it. It was great.
It just flashed in
It's
front
wonderful.
of my eyes like a guy.
Wow.
in the
Why
rearview
watch
mirror.
it? Why
That's
watch
what
it?
this movie is.
Yeah, it's so vivid.
It's so vivid. You paint with words, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, so that happens, and then his boys, which I forget their names,
They
Jay Hernandez and the other guy,
Yeah,
right?
We'll call them Nacho and Sulu.
sure.
That sounds very
That's
racist.
really
No,
racist.
no.
So racist.
Because one of them is eating Nacho Doritos the whole time.
They both eat Doritos in that scene, you fucking
Yeah, wet-
asshole.
Wet Doritos.
You white motherfucker.
Good Lord, Matt.
They
Sorry.
show up, and I forget what the problem is, but then right, because Ice Cube is down the road. They're all in
No.
a desert somewhere.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
are
Lord.
automatically concerned. They're like, we're happy you're back in town. You didn't tell us you came back into town. We just somehow guessed
That you'd
you'd
be here."
in this random gas station in the middle of the desert, and we knew you'd be here.
Right.
Yeah.
And they,
Well, he
they
came
show
to get his
they
picture
show up
off
at the
the wall.
exact moment the car guys drive off, and then they
Assume
on the fight that just happened
Yeah.
that
That
they
they
didn't
didn't
see
see.
any of.
None of it.
Yeah.
The cars were leaving, they pulled up. It wasn't like them getting in their cars and then as they pulled up.
They
So
had
they-
to be like a mile away while they were getting beat up, if not more.
So they're on their way to the festival, and as they're driving, I'm calling it the,
bike
festival,
festival.
the bike festival,
Whatever the fuck it was.
the Renaissance
the,
Fair.
The row
okay?
of tents along a highway in the
With
desert.
a bunch of like douchebags from the grind from MTV in the 90s dancing around,
was
squirting
Spring Break
beer
or
on each
something.
other.
And
What was that?
as
That
they're
was
yeah,
that was the trailer for the movie. Like
it was. It's the
Just-
whole trailer.
girls on bikes rubbing each other, spraying with a hose. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was ridiculous.
They drive by Ice Cube's crew. They are stopped on the side of the road for arrest, and Ice Cube's brother Junior is half asleep on the bike. The power of their torque is so powerful that Junior, Ice Cube's brother, falls off his bike, perturbed by this insult. Junior gets on his bike and attempts to take down
Zakari, there's a code that you have to live by.
the friends.
See this.
The torque code.
The torque code of torque.
This is the first Looney Tunes thing that I didn't notice until later,
Yeah.
where it's like zoom. You know what I mean? This movie was like a cartoon
Yeah,
at
yeah,
certain
totally.
points, like how people react to shit.
I mean, it
It was just
opened
a
with them
cartoon.
driving past a sign, not touching it,
Yeah.
and it's spinning.
Spinning, yeah, and then say
Yeah.
cars suck or something.
Yeah, it'd say cars suck. It'd say cars suck and how fast it was spinning. That the only words you would read were those.
Yeah, cars suck.
Yeah. So yeah, Junior and them have their race.
They're Dalians, yes.
They're downs. Right. And then Ice Cube catches up with them.
And
Right.
there's a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, there's like 4 Mexican standoffs
Yes.
in this.
Yeah.
With very
Within the first 10
homoerotic
minutes.
men getting very close to each other's faces. I'm surprised there wasn't a kiss in this movie between 2 men. I was kind of hoping for it.
Why?
Because we just added. Come on, man.
They s-
Everyone acted so homoerotic in this movie.
Wait,
The
say that
bad
word
guy-
again. What was that word you just said?
Homoerotic.
Oh, there you go. Good job.
What do you think I said?
You were like homoerotic.
Homoerotic?
Homoerotic.
No.
There you go.
Homoerotic.
Well, the henchman of the bad guy was like flicking him the tongue the whole time.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah, that
was.
one
He
shot that-
was.
That thing. That one? Yeah.
That one shot. I mean,
It's as close as you're getting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what that shot sounded like if you had to add sound.
Right.
He was probably just being driven mad because Jamie Priestley's character was never not having her tongue outside of her mouth.
She was like,
just being like, I want to lick everything. Oh, I just jumped over something.
she's like an orgasm realized as a human being in this movie. Like a goth orgasm on a bike.
She looks like Harley Quinn without the makeup and she's just got her like mouth hanging open the whole time.
I think she was just dehydrated. They didn't get anything to drink that entire movie.
They give her water like a hamster. There's this big tube.
She needs speed
It
and
looks
water.
like
That's
it would look like when they fill a race car up really fast. Those big things. They bring one of those out, and she's going.
Except they're all driving at like 300 miles an hour
Yeah.
while it's happening.
Oh no! In the
It's
middle
some
of
insane
scenes.
rig to
Oh, yeah.
drink from. All right, help me. Okay, help me with the plot here.
So at this
plot.
point, Ice Cube.
Cardi's got it.
Ice Cube is furious because he's like, "You've insulted my brother, Junior. You got to give Junior your bike." And the
Because he
main,
crashed his
yeah,
bike.
because Ford, the main character's like, "No, man, no, not gonna give it to you." So then the cops show up, and Ice Cube goes, "We'll handle this later." So we've established dramatic tension now between Ford and the Reapers, which is Ice Cube's biker gang. So then they finally had
When the cops show up, they're all blocking the entirety of the road.
the entirety of
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
no,
driven
they're in a
truck
big
off the
circle
road.
around the three of them.
yeah. It should be a problem, right? I would think the cops would have a problem with that.
But the cop doesn't get out of the car. Instead, Faison Love just goes up to the window and goes, "How you doing, officer? Nice day today."
He's so used to talking cops down.
That's his role in the Reapers.
Because all their conversations happen in the middle of a road.
Road.
It's like-
Dude, all they're ever doing when they're out in the festival portion of the movie is rolling around like a conclave. Like it's just this motorcade of fucking bikes and a giant truck with a trailer on it blocking everything. Like, yeah, they're
How is
used to
anyone
getting
going
stopped by
fast?
the police because they're just fucking doing whatever the fuck they want out there. Obviously, he's been talking to the cops all day. They drive like pieces of shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
they're like not even human beings.
Yeah, they're like Mongols, dude. They're just like they're just out there.
Just nomads. Just they live on leather. That's
I didn't
it.
realize they were from L.A. until way later in the movie when I was like, why the fuck are they going to L.A.? Are
They
they
could have
even
been in
from
Mexico with the whole beginning of the movie's in a desert. It was like a commercial.
Can we?
The whole movie.
By the way, the movie is the character Ford. We find out 1,000 times during the movie he was hiding out in Thailand. There's so many racist
God.
Asian jokes about where he was coming from.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you
Literally.
got some sushi and the guy like.
Well, that's what Ice Cube says. Though I thought you were in China eating sushi and shit. And then Junior says, "Wait, isn't that Japan that has sushi?"
And a racial epithet is said after that. I know where sushi comes from. Racial epithet, which I think made us laugh harder than anything in this entire
But that's
movie.
an
Right.
intentional joke.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like
an
an intentional joke. It's
And Ice
funny.
Cube's given 110% this whole movie.
God.
He's
Gosh.
never not scowling.
No, he's
No.
pissed.
He's emoting
He's full
so
cube.
good.
this
He's
is
going
wait,
full cube.
so-
Roll it.
Sean. This is the guy that directed Triple X2.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, I got excited for. I never seen Triple
No,
X2.
it said SWAT.
Triple X2 is pretty good.
Is it?
The trailer said SWAT Triple X.
It's the producer.
Producer
Oh,
Neil
the
Moritz.
producers,
Yeah,
okay.
Neil
Yeah.
Moritz.
Really added to the culture there. That guy.
Those are the. I know what you did last summer. He's a real fucking gem.
God.
So
Okay.
after this altercation, we arrive at the festival. Ford, while his buddies are street racing and talking to girls,
They're like one of them's doing like weird bike tricks in
Yeah.
the middle of the
Yeah.
street.
Anytime that there needs to be a weird bike trick or a chase during this festival, suddenly it's clear.
Yeah, the road is clear.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter
but-
how fast they're going.
If you were to drive down this road, you'd hit a person
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything immediately.
like multiple. people.
yeah.
yeah, it's like driving
no.
through a county fair. It's just you can't do that.
Like the way they move in that festival and other portions of this movie, it's actually as if they're only going like 10 miles an hour, but
The world's
but the world is
moving.
really fast, and they're just like,
It's like-
oh, and you're like, you're going nowhere. You barely. I saw where you were headed. And you've been riding for way too long. Like, that happens so much.
We'll get to that with the Jamie Presley fight.
yeah.
They're driving for like 90 minutes.
It's
20 feet.
amazing.
So yeah, so he meets up with his girlfriend that he left
Shane.
behind, Shane. Right.
Played
She's-
by Monet Mazur.
And she's in a tent working on a thing in front of a bunch of side view mirrors or
Also,
something.
I don't know if you noticed the there was a bear skin hanging above the mirrors.
Yes.
She just has a skin bear.
In a tent that's temporary.
That's a temporary
Dude,
tent.
that's where else do you end up with a pelt? When you set up a tent somewhere else sets up a tent, they usually have dead animals
That's how you know
there.
you're home.
Yeah.
What I like about this movie is they every time something happens, it involves like something from the culture of bikes.
yes.
You know what I mean?
right,
Like
yes.
there's always all weapons are like pieces of
They're
bikes,
chains.
helmets,
Yeah.
chains.
Yeah.
She hits somebody with
With
an
a
exhaust
muffler,
pipe or
yeah.
muffler or something at one point. Yeah, like everything in their world is bikes. There's not like
Sure.
there's no humanity outside of the world of biking.
Yeah, no, that's what you do.
That's all that there is. Yeah, they don't make normal weapons. You have to
No.
use a bike.
That was the one thing you said that was really funny. They're at a bike festival, and someone hears bikes.
And they go, "Oh
And-
no, they're
no,
coming!"
Oh, no, they're here, and you're like,
Yes, no.
"There's bikes fucking everywhere for miles. There's people doing stupid tricks in the middle of the road. Hey, what are you hearing?" So crazy.
Matt, they're so in tune with the sound of these motors. They know.
Like, oh, those sound evil. Those sounds like evil bikes.
Matt, don't you remember the line later in the film that a bike's chain is like a fingerprint?
Oh
my
my
God.
god!
Great.
Yeah.
It's great.
God damn it, that's amazing. All right, so yeah, then the bad guy,
Henry
named
James.
Henry James,
Henry James.
he comes to see Ford
Yes.
to tell him that he wants his bikes back.
Yes, it turns out that Ford apparently had been holding two bikes that were Henry James's, and he fled the country because said bikes were filled with crystal meth.
And he hit him.
Whoa.
And he hid
Hit
them.
him and left.
He hid them and left. And Shane is very upset because he left. He left unannounced. And she says, "If you think I still love you, you're wrong. And you just can't come back here unannounced." And he's like, "I've played this conversation in my head 1,000 times." But you can tell she still loves him because she listens to him.
Yeah, you really could tell like, there was some magic
Doing
still
right
left.
now.
Dude, like, Torque,
Yeah, I love it.
Dude.
You talk like you wrote the
Science
movie.
is
It's amazing.
Torque is not a movie. It's a way of living, man.
It's kind of Shakespeare if you really think
It
about
really
it.
is. It really is.
I don't think
It's a
so.
spaghetti western on two wheels.
Kind
Jesus
of.
Christ.
More like
know-
a bunch of meatballs.
On a side note, I do remember Lawrence Fishburne talking about Biker Boys, and he said he kept insinuating it was a spaghetti western. That was his description of Biker Boys that you just described with Torque. All right, I'm just saying.
Okay. That went somewhere.
didn't go anywhere.
I
It's
know
fine.
It's okay.
So where are we? We got fucking Henry James shows up. They fight a little.
Yeah.
Sort
Right.
of fight. It's all just staring
They
at each
point
other.
guns at each other, and no one does anything.
He gets Jamie Lee Presley to get off her bike and do some like freaky shit just to freak everyone out. Hey, come over here.
Bitch, get out here and do something weird. Leave your tongue hanging out. I'm gonna lick your face.
Hey, ringmaster, get your ass over here.
Do a little dance or something. This shit's gonna get weird. Dude, the bad guy had like a some kind of weird mullet thing where it was just he had like he just had like a Prince Albert just on the bottom half of the back of his head.
Yeah, it was odd.
He worshipped Brian Bosworth. It's his Stone Cold tribute.
I'm the boss.
Sean made me laugh so hard in the movie when Sean just goes, "Oh, look, it's Discount Thor."
And he totally looks like that.
Yeah, he
Exactly
did.
like
Yeah,
Thor.
when he walks out in that shot, I thought it was Chris Hemsworth for like
Yeah,
a minute.
yeah.
I was like, wait a minute,
I'm like,
whoa.
how long has it been since I've seen this?
Yeah, was he in it? Okay. So they threaten them. They tell them they want it back. Those guys get on their hogs because they're
'Cause he's
driving.
like, you're not gonna do
they're
anything
driving
to me.
hogs too. That should
Yeah.
be noted.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
not driving like
Like
crotch
cho-
rockets.
yeah.
Choppers.
Choppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They leave the festival town. Is it a whole town or is it just a road?
I was telling you, man, it's just a bunch
just
of
like
tents.
Main Street was like the chopper or the bike
They
festival.
leave Bike Town.
There was a double lane like down the middle
like
of the whole
Beyond
thing. It's
Yeah.
Bike Week in the middle of the desert. It's fucking lawless. Apparently,
Yeah.
as we'll
the
get
cops
to in a
would
minute.
be swarming around.
Yeah,
this
they
fucking
should be
festival.
everywhere.
God.
They're never not speeding.
Dude, you can't
ever.
put
There's
something-
never like the speed limits don't matter. The cops can pull these people over at any time.
There's so few cops in this movie. It's baffling.
Yeah, you don't even see their
and they're
faces.
completely incompetent.
Yeah, like absolutely incompetent. Oh man, man, they're going fast. I guess maybe we shouldn't chase after them. Like that's what you assume the scenes with those cops after they see any of them.
It's the
because
cops
you never
from
see
Kids
them
in the
again.
Hall. It's like
Right.
they don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, there's like an utter disregard of helmet laws in this entire
yes.
movie,
It's
which
disgusting.
is extremely abhorrent.
Yeah, it sends a bad message to the children.
I mean, they should have been stopped alone for that sole reason, but they weren't. And
Shut down the filming.
yeah, don't do that because Torque wouldn't happen. It's got to happen.
It's gotta happen.
All right.
So they leave, and
They
she's like,
leave,
"No,
yeah.
fuck you," and he's like, "Come on," and they race down
And
the middle of the
he
street,
gets somewhere first, which means that she's like, all right, I'll go on a date with you.
which is drinking a beer at some sort of makeshift building out of scaffolding,
Right.
where
Kids
sparks
fart.
are shooting at his shit all the time. Where Monster Magnet is playing for a bunch of bikers.
where everyone that's involved in the principal cast is also going,
all
even
the-
though we were
all the
just in a scene
gangs.
where they all had said, all right,
Disperse.
we'll deal with you later. Let's all go to the same nightclub.
The fascinating, but important plot point before that is when they're all Ice Cube and Junior are in a stretch, the SUV, outside the row of 99-cent stores.
Yeah, what?
You find out that Henry James has in fact offered Ice Cube and the Reapers to sell his crystal meth on the streets, but Ice Cube says no. He says no.
Nah.
No.
And he goes, no, I'm not going to let your poison come on my streets. And his dog's named Dojo. And Dojo looks at Henry James and goes, "Rrr." But his girlfriend is like,
you're like
really?
a child
He's like threatening to
reading
feed
a
people
book
to his
that
dog.
they love.
Best
Talking about like a
surprise.
book that
Best
they
line
love.
of the movie is, bitch, hand me that bottle. It's a giant bottle of
giant bottle of
champagne.
champagne.
I'm surprised the dog eating somebody never came into play
Yeah.
during the movie.
and then,
Yeah.
The dog never
then of
does
course,
I was hoping for the dog to do something. Like
You know-
the dog drives a motorcycle.
That
or
would have
something.
been, dude. There was like a sidecar thing with the dog attacking people
Oh,
while they
man.
were racing. That would have been
That
insane.
would have been so good.
I can't believe they passed up on that.
so when Henry James walks out of the limousine, Ice Cube looks at his girlfriend and goes, what you looking at? And she goes, I love you.
right.
And she looks like pissed off. She's like, I
Exactly.
love you.
But Junior is upset because Junior was the one who set up the deal with Henry
Right.
James. So Junior feels belittled.
This is before they go to the nightclub.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
yeah,
because
I
that's
jumped
why
to the
Junior
nightclub.
goes to the nightclub because he's upset.
He needs to unwind.
Yeah, two belittlements in one day is
And,
a lot for
and
that
if you're
guy.
gonna unwind, you want to go to a Monster Magnet concert,
yeah.
where live sparks are spewing
Especially
in the
when you're in a
audience.
bike gang from East LA. You really want to go see Monster Magnet.
Yeah, they're
with a
from
bunch of
Inglewood,
white
right?
people.
They
Yeah.
say they're from Inglewood.
Yeah.
So
At this
Monster
point-
Magnet's real high up on their list.
Yeah, they
Monster
love
Magnet's
Monster
playing.
Magnet
We
there.
just heard like a Kid Rock song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
It was weird.
yeah.
So he goes to unwind. What does he do? First thing, bumps right into the main character, and it's like, man, fuck you again. It's on. Like, you piece of shit. It's like so stupid. It's like the first 20 minutes of
Didn't
the
we
movie
just do this?
is just constantly
The
people.
movie's only an hour long. It's
Yeah.
like an hour and 10 minutes.
But like
And
people
that's
just
including credit.
people just keep talking to people they don't want to talk to. It's all the first 20 minutes is somebody being like, you, damn it, fuck you. I should kill you, but I'm not going to. Next scene, you, oh, fuck all this shit. I was just like, what? What's happening?
Yeah, nobody except for his friends.
Yeah,
His
that's
buddies. They're the
that's
only
after
people that
that.
like anyone. And they're so superfluous to this
And
movie.
They're pointless.
On the edge, like when Jay Hernandez interrupts
Yeah.
that dude having sex, it's like you never know, they might beat each other up or fuck each other.
Yeah. Well, he interrupts him while he's fucking that woman that he met. All he does at the street
Right.
festival is say, like, what's your story or what's your name, right? He just pulls
Yeah.
up and she's just like, and she tells
No,
him.
he goes, you got a name?
you got a name.
And she just smiles.
Let's go fuck in
Well,
a hotel
obviously
room
they're
covered in
gonna end up
Christmas
fucking-
Yeah,
lights.
I will get back to this, but like he interrupts them having sex so they could get breakfast. at a diner.
Breakfast, like,
No, yeah, that didn't make
any sense at all. He's like, no, we gotta go now. He's like, give me 10 minutes. He's like, fine. Like, why does this need to speed up?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
she came to breakfast with them,
Sure.
so it wasn't even. They didn't have any business.
No, when he interrupted him, it was nighttime. Then it showed like them, the main character and the girl talking, and then it was like everybody eating breakfast together.
Right, right.
It was like, what did he wake him up?
Of
What
course.
was he interrupting
Yeah.
for? It was like he was just like, dude, you got to gear up. Shit's going down. And then no shit went down. Like, all the shit had already happened.
They just wanted to have a fucking scene that they filmed.
Sure, sure.
And they had to put it
It had to have been an editing. If it went the scene
Wasn't even a good
before
fucking
it,
scene.
or
It's
in the
just
middle of the
covers.
last scene.
No, she's wearing all his motorcycle clothes and his helmet.
and his,
Right. And his
Metallica
Metallica
shirt.
t-shirt,
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So let's go back to the nightclub.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they're in the
right.
nightclub
June's been wrong. The Ice Cube has intervened yet again.
and been like, stop acting a fool.
Right.
Yeah, he's
Right.
Mr. T.
Stop acting a fool.
This
And
would have been a
then-
great part for Mr. T, actually.
And then the
Pretty
bad
good.
guy is like to Presley. He's like, meet me. What is it? Meet me in the powder room.
Powder room.
He says, go powder your nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Henry James now realizes he has a moment to perhaps get back at Ford and frame him, putting him in a very dire situation.
Jesus.
What?
Nothing,
What?
man. You're
Well,
beautiful. Keep
okay.
doing it.
Your
Thanks.
recap is so sincere. It's
Yes.
great.
I'm going like, yeah, fuck this thing, this bitch, and that. And you're like, he was very upset.
Like an NPR recounting of Torch.
This American life.
Yeah.
This episode of Serial, we present Torque,
Right.
the murder of Junior.
Murder of Junior.
Oh, yes.
So they murder Junior
In
with
the-
a bike chain.
They
With a
start a
bike
huge
chain.
fight. Everyone starts
Right.
fighting. People are literally flying through the air
Yeah.
during this melee.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like a
they-
Blazing Saddles fight scene. All of a sudden, it just breaks out.
And then Junior somehow gets like Max Payne vision or like spider vision. I don't know what it was.
They put like a mask around that was just a blur mask around all the edges of the screens. Like everything was
Yeah.
so blurry. we
Anything
can't-
it wasn't the people who he knew was gonna kill
but we
him.
weren't looking at it through like a character's eyes.
No, it was all the
It was-
colors were all weird and it was like wobbly. Yeah, it was really strange.
because we're supposed to
I think
feel like
that's
we were in a fight.
what Presley sees all the time.
Was she like
It's her meth vision.
The more blurry it gets, the more
Right.
horny you are. You just, you know you
Yeah.
need fucking right now.
It's getting blurry. I gotta lick my lips.
Satiate myself.
she's just finger banging herself in the bathroom
Well,
waiting for the
what
guy
was
to get
so
murdered.
weird is they choke Junior to death with a bike chain. Fine, okay.
Mhm.
And then he's like, then he looks back, and Jamie Presley's like standing around the corner. Remember how she's like,
Yeah,
just
it's
like
the
standing
kind
around
of
the corner.
bathroom
He's
where
like,
the sinks are an island in the middle.
Right.
And she comes around from one side and Henry comes around from the other.
but he after he strangles him with a bike chain, he looks back at her and he goes, "Now you know what to do."
Right.
yeah, he said that like
Well,
I
that's-
thought
that's
she was
because
gonna like
she-
cut him
She's
apart.
gonna tell the
gonna
cops that it was Ford.
On Ford.
Yeah.
But he said it like she was about to mutilate him.
yeah, I
or
was
something.
I thought she was gonna fuck him or something.
Eat him. She
Fuck-
just eats him.
Fuck him until he's a puddle of blood. Eat it. He's a fucking
She's
like
some
wild
sort of monster.
warthog
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
like a monster. I don't know. Her whole tongue unfurls. It's like 15 feet long. Wraps around his body. And just like it chokes
Well,
it out.
there was that python in one shot.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, that
Yes,
woman
at
covered
the
with
festival.
snakes
At
for
the
no reason.
festival,
Yeah.
There was a
somebody had like a
large-
Well,
boa
that festival
constrictor.
is every single biker trope, like
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Yeah, in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
It's ridiculous.
It's pretty
Yeah. great.
Like it's an Ed Hardy T-shirt come to life. Yeah.
It was a bike week ad.
It was
Yeah.
a whole year's subscription of Easy Rider.
Yeah.
All at once.
Bleh.
So she's gonna tell the cops that she saw Ford kill Junior,
Yeah,
right?
and he
She does. And she is
does do
actually
that.
while
While she lays sexily on top of
yeah.
a cop car.
Yeah, like they don't
That's
have
in the
any
middle of the
problem.
club.
yes.
This is a trustworthy person that we should
The
listen
best
to.
part is Ice Cube getting into basically an argument with a cop saying he does not know who it is, but finding out it's Ford, knowing that he wants to kill Ford because Ford killed his brother, and he's like, I'm leaving. I don't know anything. And then him and his boys go like 10 feet into the other room where they have like a religious powwow where they're talking about how they're going to go find somebody and kill him
Right.
with cops staring
pretty
at
much
them.
killed
Yeah,
the
there's
cops that
cops
they're gonna
10
kill.
feet that way, and then literally a but their group is a fucking film crew recording stuff, and they're having this whole like, we're gonna kill him, right? Yeah, let's feed him to the fucking dog. It's like, what is you can't
say
do
that in
that.
front of these cops.
That was amazing.
I don't understand why the cops always harassing us.
Stop incriminating yourself in public, please.
I would love to see like a comedy movie made about the cops in this movie.
They don't
From
do
their
shit.
perspective, like Wicked for them.
Speaking
know?
of which, let's bring in Adam Scott.
Who shows
Yeah.
up
That's
at
when he
this
shows
moment.
up, right?
This
yeah.
is when he shows up. Yes,
here.
Agent McPherson.
Agent McPherson.
Yes, and Henderson, his
Some clever naming there.
fellow
What
agent.
did you describe him as? Tim Burton, the FBI
Yeah,
agent?
Tim Burton was an FBI agent on MTV.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he
That's
looks
pretty
like.
much what he
Yeah.
did.
His
Just-
hair is very Burton-esque.
The
Yes.
audience should know that Agent McPherson, played by Adam Scott
the
of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty fame.
that's what you'll remember him
Yes.
from.
He wears a suit, a rock T-shirt tucked into the suit pants, and then Converse sneakers. So he looks like a ghetto-ass Doctor Who. And
Kind
like
of.
the way he looks, he's got like a college class ring on one finger. And he's really sweaty and his hair is always matted. So I always thought when I watched Tour, because I may have seen it more than once, like,
You may.
May.
like his cologne would be Rohypnol. Like he just is so
Jesus.
sleazy.
That's where the ghost
Let's
dad
bring
thing
it back
Yeah,
comes in.
exactly.
The ghost dad,
But
yeah.
Agent McPherson was the person who originally 6 months beforehand had investigated Ford for perhaps having the drugs and is still hot on the case. And
See,
once
Matt, it's all
Ford
connected
down.
that you're not understanding.
What? I got all that. I knew that was going on. What the fuck are you accusing me of?
I just wanted to say it.
This movie was written by a 5-year-old. Come
Yeah.
on, we can-
Agent Henderson,
plot.
who is his fellow agent, is supposedly one of the best young agents in the field, yet wears cornrows, pants that are 4 sizes too big.
And he likes to tell
She
other
looks like
people.
a backup dancer in a fucking Salt and Pepper video.
I like that the first
if
thing he
Salt and Pepper
says
wrote a
is,
song about
"Don't
it
be
being
fooled by how
professional."
hot she is. She's not an idiot." You know what I mean? Like he's like telling people.
I know you want to fuck her
I
head.
know you want to fuck her, but
there's
she can
a
actually
brain in
do
there
her
that
job.
works.
Like she's a human that can do things. So
and she could fuck.
yeah, she can fuck really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
that happens.
Needless to say, at this point now, Ford has gone with Shane to the diner to have breakfast. She had French toast because she specifically notes that. Ford's face is plastered all over the news, and a bunch of hicks at the restaurant. Earls. They realize it's them, and they're like, "Oh no!" And the cop tells Agent McPherson, he goes, "We've got them." And Agent McPherson turns to the cop and says, "Let's drive a little."
And then rolls
Then
off
in the
without
same
him.
shot,
Yes.
the car just rolls
Just
through
rolls
the frame.
through.
Yes.
It's just such a weird line to say. And
Adam
Oh, no,
Scott
at
is
the
just
same
weird.
time,
Like
he
they didn't
hands
know
the
what
coffee
to
cup
do with
to the
Adam
sheriff.
Scott yet.
he wasn't what he is now. He didn't have that
Right.
reputation.
I don't know what had he really been in anything other than 40-Year-Old Virgin at that point.
He had been in Hellraiser,
Hellraiser
Bloodline.
Fucking
Okay, let's
Ford,
bring
dude.
up Hellraiser fucking Bloodline.
Yeah, dude.
But you got to point out that in this movie, you can definitely see where the comedy career was gonna happen.
Oh, he's very
yeah,
good.
no, he
he's
does a great
wonderful.
job.
yeah,
in this
he's
film.
really funny.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Like if anything, he was legitimately funny in this
And
movie.
I
Yeah,
actually-
like before he delivers
yeah.
that line, he like finishes a cup of coffee and hands the coffee to a sheriff outside his window, and then just rolls away.
Let's drive a little bit.
Let's drive a little bit.
Let's drive a little
See,
bit.
this movie does.
Who was he
yeah.
even talking to? Was he talking to the person? He just,
He was talking to himself because he's like pretty awesome in this movie. Like
Yeah.
I think everyone wants to be Agent McPherson from this movie. I do. I
Until the
love him.
end.
He's awesome, dude.
He's the Bill Murray of this movie.
He is the Bill Murray of this movie.
Yeah.
right.
Matt's not happy
Let's
with us.
move on. Let's move on.
We're
I don't
never gonna
even.
finish this.
At this point, I get a little blurry. So just, I'll let Zaccardi knows what happens in this movie. Apparently, he's seen it 600 fucking times.
This is the part that doesn't make any sense. I will admit the
The
faults in
part?
Torque, just as I admit the good parts. Ice Cube's crew suddenly appears at Earl's.
Right.
But how would they know in the entirety of California where they were?
they all go to the same
Everybody
place.
knows where everybody
Because,
is.
dude,
Oh,
it's
man.
fucking Bike Fest.
They're
In the
psychically
there's probably
connected.
only
You go
like
to
three
three
things.
places. You
There's
go
that
to-
motel with Christmas lights all over
Monster
it,
Magnet.
Earl's, and the Monster Magnet show. Everybody goes. That's why they were all there. It's that's what you do. You go there. You look at
They
people's
were-
wares.
You didn't-
You do tricks
They
in the
cut a
street.
scene where they were all like, let's go get those fuckers. Where they at? And they're like, well, they probably eating. Let's go to Earl.
I'm hungry too. Yeah, that would have been
Let's
amazing.
get some French toast. Bitch, hand me that bottle.
Earl got a best. I did like that Ice Cube was in.
Well, I loved how Ice Cube chases after him, but then Adam Scott catches up with Earl's, and then he like picks up the phone.
Oh
He
my
suddenly-
God.
He has a psychic like vision that's
That he
That was the
remembers the,
phone he
sound of
called him
being
on.
hung up on by Ford.
Right.
And he
So
says,
this
oh
must
man,
be
it's
the
a hung up.
phone."
It's a phone that hasn't been properly hung up. They were here.
let's roll.
Get
a
in the
little.
car. Yeah, I mean, the whole movie's just cranked to 11, so now everything's kind of broken. You know, it starts cracking because you broke it through the ceiling, and it's just like peaking, basically. The scenes are peaking, where nothing
Right,
starts to
right.
make sense.
Let's just
'Cause
move
it's
along
too amped
to the chase on the train.
Oh, Jesus.
Ice
yeah.
Cube.
Lord alive.
Ice Cube tracks Ford through the desert, but Ford and his
Through a weird wooded. What was
Yeah,
it?
they
It's
have
like
like
a
a
palm
they have
tree
the,
behind
No,
it.
no,
the
guys,
racing
we're
scene
no,
from
we're
Return of the
no,
Jedi.
we're
Oh, are
skipping
we?
That happened
because
before
they,
the train.
No.
Dude, all
they
the bike
hide.
chases are so
They hide in a
similar.
mine. They hide in a mine because
Right.
Ice Cube chases them through the desert. They hide in an
Oh, yeah,
underground
it's the
mine.
scene that what's his name? He stole it for Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, because it was like the Baggins scene where the
They're
you know,
hiding under the wood.
under the wood, and it comes
Yeah,
over
yeah.
top of the thing looking for them, and it just goes
Yeah,
away.
they're on top of the hill, and they're
Yeah.
just in like a mine.
And
Totally stole that.
that is when we
Good job,
have
Jackson.
the Fast and the Furious line, which I know you like a lot.
What is funny?
It's
That they would even bother.
the Ford. Shane goes, "How can you be this way, so heroic and amazing?" And he turns to Shane, and he's like, "I live my life 1/4 of a mile at a time." And Shane just shakes her head and goes, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard,"
Yeah.
which I like a lot. Big fan.
At least they acknowledge it.
The movie's self-aware entirely.
It's very self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very self-aware. At this point, then they escape the mine, and they start.
Well, they leave. the
Yeah,
mine.
they just-
It's not like crashing down. Although,
They
why
escaped
not?
the mine before the fireballs.
That would have been
engulfed
amazing.
them.
They all of a sudden the mine starts crumbling and shit, and they're like they have to race out while it's crumbling for no reason.
They're only 30 feet in the cave, but somehow they have to race out where there's dodging
And
rocks and shit.
It takes like screen time 5 minutes.
They know that all of LA is going to be roadblocked because they're looking for Ford, really, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide to take a route. We then cut back to the Reapers with Ice Cube, frustrated over
He's
not
like, "Where
finding.
are they?"
Where is my brother's supposed killer? We must find them.
And that's how he sounded.
Yes. And he goes, "No, what would I do? I wouldn't take the freeway. I wouldn't take the highway. I'd take the Palms. So that's the route we'll take." And then, Matt, please describe what happens when Ice Cube is on his bike.
Oh, while
Oh
riding.
my god!
Please.
Jesus
That
Christ,
was
it
at the
is.
moment Matt said, "I love this."
Yeah, this is the first. I was
You
just like,
lost
all right,
your
it's over.
damn
This whole movie's
mind.
finished. They're riding. First of all, people talk to each other while they're on their bikes
with helmets on.
with helmets on a lot.
and there's
but then
no
there's
radio
a scene
system or anything in these
he
helmets.
grabs. He like has a phone that just suction cups to the
attaches to
side to
his
the
helmet.
helmet, and he starts like talking to people. So he rides up to this car. They hand him a map, and he just like peruses, no hands on his bike, peruses a
Perusing it
map.
while going
Well, they're going
forward.
like 70 miles an hour, like but from like just being like, nah, yeah, we'll go over this way. Let's go that way. It's like insanity.
The conceit of the movie is you can do anything on a motorcycle, pretty much. You could cook.
They were
a
priming you
meal.
for the later bike fighting.
Right.
Mm,
So they catch up with
the
them,
bike kata.
Yeah.
and that's when we have the land speeder chase in the woods.
Oh,
One
right,
yeah.
yeah.
They start
Return of the
chasing them
Jedi.
through palm trees. One thing you must understand in the universe of Torque is everything in Torque is torqued out.
So when you shoot a gun,
Yes.
it looks like a lightning bolt.
Man, laser blast.
Ridiculous. And the girl could like see bullets.
Yeah, they were like yellow streaks going by like lasers.
Yeah.
There's no way that wasn't the intent. Is
Right.
that was supposed to be like Return of the Jedi?
Oh yeah, it
No,
was
no,
100%.
That had to be,
It
right?
was
Yeah, it had to
completely
be.
Return
Because
of the
out of
Jedi.
nowhere, they're in this like fucking palm tree forest in the middle of a
Dodging
desert.
trees and
What the fuck was that?
I would say it was a palm tree conservatory. And
Does
you
that
know,
exist? All
no, but this is Torque, and
It's
I
Torque.
believe everything. So, needless to say, one of the henchmen of the Reapers pulls out his guns, and he knows no one can hear him because he's on his motorcycle. Yet, needless to say, says,
Yes.
"Well, get ready to meet the twins," which are two miniature-sized guns that he
Yeah.
has.
Like,
And
it'd be impossible to
Yeah.
shoot somebody with a normal gun while you're trying to navigate a fucking minefield of trees. Then he no-handed two guns
And then to the
start shooting.
catchphrase, only he could possibly
Only
hear.
here. Strictly for himself. Amazing.
Quarter mile of a time. Quarter mile of a time.
I mean, the editing in that scene is so confusing. You can't tell
Oh.
who's who.
Oh, yeah.
It's just humans on
Oh,
bikes.
Oh, I'm
any
sorry.
action
Everybody,
happens in this movie.
in between
Yeah.
every scene we're talking where there's dialogue, just assume there was about 1 minute to 2 minutes of shit you didn't understand going really fast in engine parts. That happen like, all right, we got to go somewhere else. Look at the inside of this engine. Fire. It's just like, what the
I gotta
fuck?
say though, I genuinely loved the beginning of any race or anything. Like, I want to steal shots from this movie. Like, it was so stupid, but when like they rev the, like the handle and the entire screen turns with the handle, awesome. I'm down.
That's what I'm saying. Whoever set up all the like shots
Crazy
of the montage
shots,
stuff
yeah.
is a genius because they were just like, "What's some shit nobody would ever want to see? Oh, someone's putting a key in an ignition.
This is
Let's
the best
do
shot in the
that."
movie.
Yeah, that's
Let's
your
give
favorite.
Adam Scott a giant key so it looks like a perspective shot, but it's not. It is
Dude,
not.
that
He's
shot's
holding
so
a
nice.
huge key.
It's bananas.
I mean, my favorite shot in the movie is definitely when he's having the heart-to-heart with her on the merry-go-round, and somebody hits the camera.
Oh yeah,
What was
so
that?
everything just jolts for a second.
Yeah, all the lights behind him jiggle.
Right.
Oh,
And there's a
guys,
sound, too.
guys,
There's a sound.
yeah.
The Earth in Torqueland has a heartbeat. That was just the pulse.
Yeah.
You don't notice it all the
It
other
felt
times
love
because
at
it's
that
all like
moment.
crazy
Sure.
and shit.
Yeah.
That was the only quiet.
Well, remember in the
movie.
club, like the whole frame started just shaking
Yeah.
once people were
Yeah.
fighting. Like,
They
it
didn't
was
have sandbags. They couldn't afford them. On this.
not a torque.
Ice Cube chases Ford out of the palm trees, and then they encounter
Thank you.
a speeding train. The speeding train is pretty impressive. That's one of my
Yes.
favorite scenes in the movie.
It's my favorite season of cinema.
I don't know about that, but
James Bond, eat your heart out.
It's a little Matrix Reloaded because everybody then becomes like a CGI cartoon because they actually jump onto the train. Ford realizes I got nowhere to go, so I will drop in the middle of the passenger compartments, then enter said train and drive through the train.
Yeah, but wait a
Wait a
minute.
minute, yeah, you're leaving out a
skipping
part
over
where-
the fact that he falls in there and he opens the door with the bike he's on
Yes.
without using his hands.
Yeah.
Like, he revs the engine so that he can tear through. Doesn't even make any sense. He's in the
Dude, that-
smallest space
you're
possible.
skipping my favorite part of that whole sequence is that they don't actually show him drop down there.
No, he just
It's-
falls.
Yeah, it's like you're watching them chase each other, and
Right.
then it's like Ice Cube, and then him between the doors. You're like, what? Fuck you! Like, come on.
And then they proceed to chase each other while Ford is
Ugh.
in the cars going past people, and Ice Cube is on the top of the train.
There's just no way that Ice Cube could know which direction he was even going. Like, he could have just gone in reverse.
yeah,
And Ice
he could have
Cube
just
was
went the other way and got off the
he
back
could
of the
have
train.
stopped, and then yeah.
He
And
could have done a smart thing, like jump over the train and keep driving. And not jump
Well,
on a fucking
Remember what
train for
happens
no
is
reason.
he gets off of the train from inside the train. He gets off the
Yeah.
train and then proceeds to speed up because there's a bridge coming.
Yeah, he needs
Right.
to
To
get in front of the train.
of the train
He
on the
should've
bridge.
just stayed on.
I was like, yeah, Ice Cube's on top of this thing. All you have to do is maybe wait 2 seconds, and he would just be
Or
already
just
on the
get
bridge.
off the train at that point and let Ice Cube be over the bridge.
Right.
And he can't come back.
Instead,
Yeah.
he's out trying to outrun a train.
train
Ice
on
Cube
a
sees him.
bridge.
We get the awesome slow-mo shot of Ice Cube jumping forward off a
Oh,
moving train
yeah.
to land on a bridge in
Dude,
front of it.
He was at a stop. He was at a fucking stop on the top of that train.
Yeah.
Because he was riding along it for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Then You can't jump off the front of a fucking train, land, and be going faster than that train.
And then
Dude,
when he
would've died
crashes, he's like
instantly.
at least like 3 miles ahead of the
yeah,
train.
he's so far
He's
ahead.
so far ahead because then he crashes his bike.
He pops the
And
tire
Ford
on like a random
sees
piece
him.
of
You
shit.
know Ford is a force of pure good, and
Right.
down in his heart, he sees he sees that Ice Cube is going to get hit by that train,
and he saves him.
And he saves
him. But that train is so far away.
Yeah.
Then he
It is-
disappears.
yeah.
Dude,
Oh
yeah,
man,
what was
Jesus
that?
Christ, Batman!
He disappears.
Only Batman
They're
could
in
have
the
got
middle of
away
the-
at that point.
They're in the middle of the fucking desert. They're standing on each side of the train waiting for it to stop.
Just eye
and then-
fucking each other.
Yeah,
just like,
and then all of a sudden Ford is gone.
Gone. And
Just
then
gone.
Ice Cube is totally fine with it.
There's
Like, well,
nothing for miles. What did he do? That's a Looney Tune moment. He Bugs Bunny did. He dug a hole and he was in Albuquerque instantly.
you just see a trail
And
like
then
dig-
his girlfriend knows exactly where he's going to be in the next scene.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though, like,
She just goes picks him up.
right.
Oh, he teleported to the safe zone. Like, what the fuck happened?
The only
What
thing
was
he
that?
honestly could have done was lay on his stomach or something.
And, yeah, and be on the other side of the hump.
Yeah, it's the
and
only
hope
way
he
he could
didn't
have
walk
disappeared.
up it.
And Ice Cube totally fell for it. He was like, well, he's gone. I guess I'll leave. And he looks back, he sees his bike and drives away. Maybe he didn't go. Maybe
You
he
know,
literally just laid down.
Because otherwise he'd have to Mr. Bean it from fucking Rat Race and just
He
kind
just
of
jumps on the
just
train.
gone. Like,
Yeah.
jump between the cars and hope for the best.
Yeah. It's such a weird scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to
Fuck me.
the next truck stop.
Yeah.
where they,
Jesus.
Zacardi.
Well, this is the next. Hold on. The next truck stop they get
Oh,
to.
my God.
The two friends of Ford are eating Doritos in the rain like it's a sunny Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's raining like shit. And they just
Outside.
have bags of Doritos in their hands just chomping down. There's like water dripping off his nose. It's just like you're soaked. And there's a canopy where the gas is like 10 feet away, but he's got to stand right next to
There's
them while
no
they're
way
both
they're
in the
enjoying
phone
those
booth for no
Doritos.
reason.
No way.
That scene
This movie
was
had all the
bananas.
principal great product placement products, too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pepsi,
Doritos,
Mountain
Mountain
Dew, Pepsi, yeah.
And Doritos.
And Doritos, yeah.
They are concerned. Ford is calling McPherson, and he's saying, like, look, man, Henry James killed Jr. I can tie him to the murder, and I can also actually lead you to the meth. I want to clear my name. And McPherson is just like, I don't believe you. I don't trust you, Ford. You're a dangerous man. You're a liar. But Henderson is like, no, murder isn't in his realm. It could not be a murderer. I actually believe McPherson, but
There's
McPherson,
good in
no,
him.
Ford, he's like, McPherson's like, no, you're a stupid, dumb person. I don't believe you.
You're probably
So-
a lesbian or something.
So Ford's like, I got to do this on my own. So there's roadblocks. They have to break open in the back of a truck, put their bikes in, and get the hell out of Dodge, and that's what they do.
They put
yeah,
their
they
bikes
hide
in
in
the
a
back
racing,
of
like a
car
NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
truck.
It's a stock car.
It's a lot of, yeah.
It's a stock car racing
Deep
thing.
metaphor right there.
Well, they're called stock car.
And it's lucky
It's a
that they
stock car.
they park there because when they do get stopped at the roadblock, the race car guy is buddies with the local authorities.
Yeah, he's like a
He's like a
celebrity.
famous race car
They're like,
guy.
do
Yeah.
good tomorrow. Thanks, I will. That was a really weird, like that. All the dialogue between the
was
cop
so
and that guy was
forced.
horrible.
By the way, did anyone else see the shot where the race car driver, so the police are at the roadblock and they want him to open the back of his truck. And he has out his keys and the camera lingers on a shot of
yeah.
his keys and the stripper picture
Yeah, it's
on
like
his
a
keys.
stripper
Yeah.
key.
It
That was
lingers so long.
Yeah.
And the race car driver looks at them and looks really sad.
Like
I
he's gonna
wonder
remember something.
I wonder if there was a subplot. I think
oh my god!
wait,
Yeah,
this
you've
is what I
watched
think.
this too many times.
I
Mike.
think the girlfriend, the girl that
Was
he
her.
met,
It did look
at-
like her.
Yes, I think that was a subplot. That was actually going to be his daughter, and he was going to come back at the end in the stock car, the one they didn't take, and help Ford. But maybe I'm just being an idiot right now.
Wait,
I don't know if it
why
got
would he
that
have
deep, but
why
there
would
was
he have
definitely
a stripper
something.
picture of his daughter in a keychain.
That's really fucked up,
you,
man.
you take what you can get.
God, dude.
That's awful.
It's terrible.
I know, it's okay. So needless to say, they don't get caught at the roadblock. They drive off.
No, they keep
Thankfully.
going.
Then we
Thankfully.
get to the kids' swimming camp party.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Matt, Bob, please tell us what happened in that scene.
Well,
There's like this
what's the name?
sliding
Wait, what's the
shot.
name of the gang?
The Hellions.
The
Hellions.
Hellions. I mean,
Well, you don't see them yet. It's just like shot
Yeah.
panning across.
finally we see some normal non-douchebags.
Just
like for the
human
first time in
beings.
history,
Right.
there's like an old person wearing normal clothes.
It looks totally
There's
normal.
a kid that looks like he hasn't been corrupted by, fucking Ed Hardy assholes yet. And it's like at a pier.
There's balloons.
Yeah, it's like balloons.
There's
There's
balloons like
happiness.
a log
There's people
cabin.
enjoying their life for once. You
And
know?
for some reason, the entire Hellion gang is there.
On
I
this-
think it's probably a resting area off a highway.
I agree.
Is what I'm
like,
assuming.
It looked like
But where are the balloons and people having picnics and shit?
it looked
doesn't
like
have
a
picnics at rest
campground or
areas.
something. A
Yeah.
rest area
they have
campground.
only
picnic
way you
tables,
could get
but
Roy
it's
Rogers for
fucking
your
squalid.
picnic.
Have you ever picnicked?
Well, Hardee's. Let's be honest.
All right. We'll
have you
a
ever
fair
picnicked
conversation.
at a rest
later.
area?
I have.
Your
yeah.
life
Anyway,
is in shambles. If you're picnicking
number
in the grass
2, the
at
Hellions
a
number
rest
2.
area.
I don't forget his name. The number 2,
The henchman, yeah.
the henchman is like licking his lips and looking at the. There's like a vending
candy
machines.
machine, yeah.
He throws. What does he throw at
He
the?
uses a big
Just a chain.
thick gauge chain.
Yeah, he's a
Smash
thick gauge
it.
chain. He hits one of the vending machines. The entire front falls off. Candy bars everywhere and every.
Oh, this is the best. This is the best because the what's his name chokes him, and like there's in the top
Oh,
corner. It
man.
says, yikes!
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, whatever the billboard behind
Yikes.
him was. had
He
a
gets
little, like-
choked out by the main dude, the
Henry James.
Henry James.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's pressed up against a board, and there's like literally
It looks
like
like,
a
a
word
word
bubble,
bubble.
yeah.
a word bubble from his mouth that says "yikes." When he's getting choked. Why? It's such a weird choice. And then I loved how he told him to calm down. He was like, "Just have a candy bar, cool
Right.
off.
Have a zigzag.
have an abba zaba."
Cool your jets.
And this is where.
Dane Cook.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
Dane
This is where
Cook
we
shows
I
up.
love that. Yeah, the introduction is we see like a cheesy motorcycle pull up, and then you see like
and he can't like put the kickstand
yeah,
down.
he's wearing like chintzy like Forrest Gump shoes.
And he's like, "Hey guys,
Hey guys,
Biker
I'm a
life,
rider
dudes.
for life, right?
Yeah.
With his hot girlfriend, and then he had
He
So,
wants to
I
take
was
a
this whole
picture of
part.
real
They could have
bikers.
edited this whole
It didn't
part
need
out.
it. It didn't need to happen.
I thought. Now I haven't seen this movie since it came out. I thought that they showed Dane Cook getting his ass kicked and his camera stolen because the camera was gonna play a part later.
Oh no!
You know what I mean?
absolutely
Like I
not.
thought that's what the reason
They
was, and
probably
it didn't.
raped him and his girlfriend and just took pictures and let them keep the camera.
What-
Be like,
what
don't
hap-
erase this or we'll murder you.
What
You
happened?
gotta put this
yeah.
on one of those rotating picture frame like LED shits and put it up in your house, or I'll kill you.
He was still there. Comes back into the movie.
Dane Cook
does show up
tells
again.
Henry James, he's like, "Hey, we're taking a cross country trip, and you guys look like real great bikers. Can we take a picture of you?" And I think
It's 2006,
yeah.
right? So they're blogging.
this
right?
is
They were,
what
like, blogging.
this is what
blogging.
elevates Torque, I think, to art. This is
Oh.
why I think it does, because you have a camera shot from the perspective of the camera, and it's Henry James and Jamie Presley looking like American Gothic against
Yeah.
this beautiful lake, wearing their S&M biker gear.
Oh yeah.
And their faces, they're like trying not to smile because they know how hilarious this movie is at this point. And they're like, they don't know what to do. And you realize it's like, this is a beautiful film now. Like, this is legitimately, wonderfully hilarious. So Henry James then beats the hell out of Dane Cook and takes a picture as his boot is on his chin. And I thought to myself, I go, that's what Torque is saying. If you're a real biker, stay off the road because this is a code you live by.
That's the message of
That's
Torque.
it.
That's what it's saying,
Stay
though.
off the road, kids.
Ride
Stay
or
off the
die,
road.
son.
Drive your
Ride
car,
or
be a
die.
fucking
Ride or
idiot.
die.
Don't go on a
Don't be
cross
Dane
country
Cook.
trip and be a bitch, yo. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't like when I see a hog strapped to the back of an RV. Hell no.
What are you, like a biker? You an ex-biker, Zaccardi?
Hey man, you know me.
South Philly biker
So
gang.
you're saying when you're like 55 and you're feeling your age, you're not gonna buy a bike to feel young again? Is that what
No,
Dude,
I would,
you're gonna
oh
old
my God.
hog it up like a motherfucker.
No way, man. I'm gonna
Absolute-
old dog it up.
you're
That's
gonna
what
old
I'm gonna
dog it up? It's
do.
like a wild
Okay.
hog is gonna.
I'm gonna
old
call
dog
my
it.
biker gang's gonna be the Jimmy Lunchboxes. We're gonna be the baddest biker
The
gang
Jimmy
ever. Yeah.
Just a bunch of puppets, man.
Yeah.
Wheels.
Jokes
right.
for another time.
Let's skip.
Let's
to,
go. Yeah, where are we now?
Man.
So
Who knows?
I
We're
feel like
inside an
the driver-
engine.
After
We're inside an engine.
After the end
Bob.
chase scene, I forgot everything.
just
I was
trying
like,
to-
yeah, it's all it exists.
We're now
I
at
don't know how much time we have, but
yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Keep going.
all right.
we're at the freeway chase
We're
now.
at the freeway chase.
Yes, the
'cause,
free-
Like, they have another
Oh.
roadblock. Adam Scott has a roadblock.
Let's get to the end chase soon. That's all
Okay,
I'm saying.
okay,
Keep going.
okay.
Keep going.
But this is amazing. This
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. When he opens up the
Back of the truck. They
the
were
back of the
hiding
truck,
in.
it looks normal. There's just
Well,
like
they
soda.
stacked a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Right,
That
right.
wasn't in
And
the
then
truck
it
beforehand.
wasn't in
Not
the
at
truck.
all.
And why would it be?
Yeah, it's a
in
bunch
the
of beer
truck?
and like cans of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. And then the race car comes exploding out of the back of the truck.
Like, they
into
wouldn't
this
hear it
ridiculous. No,
Of course not.
Hey, where did they get all the produce?
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
Insanity. Was it in the race car?
I mean, that guy's got to live out of that truck, I guess.
Right.
This just has a week's
He's just
worth
got
of
beer and
groceries.
vegetables in
But
his truck.
but suddenly this guy who hates car drivers can drive a car better than anybody
yeah,
else.
he's driving a
in the
stock car, which
world.
is like a
It's
precision
like,
tuned,
that's
like
why I hate four
manual
wheels,
transmission.
man.
He's like being held back, like it's strapping him down. I can't do what I could. I can't
could we
live
just-
what my soul tells me to do in this thing.
He does say that. He's like, I can't, stupid four-wheeled thing. Ugh.
Even though it's like a fucking NASCAR.
Yeah, it's
like,
like-
you go pretty fucking fast,
Yeah,
dude.
get over it.
Yeah.
He
So-
just couldn't zoom between those two cars. And he was like, oh, this big dumb
Oh.
thing.
Yeah.
Ford and Shane are in the stock car driving at a fast rate of speed. Nacho and Sulu flank them left and right. Then comes what I think is my whatever. So
You fucking racist.
I'm not a
I'm
racist.
gonna beat you
So,
up
oh
afterwards.
come on, you guys are being silly guys. So then comes my favorite part of Torque. Adam Scott, it's a shot. You suddenly cut to Adam Scott's massive RV. He's driving. He smashes into two cars.
Yeah, but
you cut
the
to him.
shot
Yes.
of his glasses, like,
He's drinking a Diet Pepsi, and Henderson's like, "You could kill people," and he's like, "I don't care. I'm in a hot pursuit." And I'm like, this is why McPherson is the best character in this movie.
Which
And-
is why he also then, when Ice Cube and Ford like use a road sign to jump to another section of highway,
He tries the
just-
same thing.
He tries the same thing in a Hummer,
Hummer,
and it just does like 12 million barrel rolls.
but it's like the
Just
crest
like
because he's
lands
screaming the
flat
whole
up.
time.
On Dane Cook's car.
Yeah, that's right.
perfectly
Dane Cook
flat.
and his wife are now in his car complaining that he wants to take his bike back. Like he's blaming the bike for the fact he got
You
his
didn't
ass
tell me it was
kicked.
like a whole thing. I gotta, like I
You
didn't know.
didn't tell
it
me
was-
that bikers would kick my ass if I act like an idiot.
And wait a minute here. If they're on a cross-country bike trip, how are they back in
in
the
the
car?
car?
He
Where did
just
they get
bought a
that?
Porsche. He's
And
like, "Fuck it,
and
we're
I
gonna buy a
guarantee
Porsche
you,
right now."
the woman in the car is not the same woman on the bike in the earlier scene. It's
I
not.
don't know, man.
I checked.
I think
it's
it
not.
was.
No.
You
You-
checked.
what does that mean?
I have a photographic memory when it comes to women on bikes
I
and
think
women in
you're wrong.
cars.
Fuck you. That is
I think you're
insane.
wrong,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey, listen, I'm a big Torque fan. So needless to say, Adam Scott's RV is flying in the air. He makes a Looney Tunes face, which is fantastic.
It lands like
Like
completely
Dane Cook
flat
and his
down.
wife woman thing run out of the car. It lands directly
It falls
upside
50
down,
feet. 50 feet!
if not more.
But he lives.
He lives.
And Henderson
And
lives
this
too.
is where they set up the finale.
Yes.
Because he gets called
By
from,
Ford.
By Ford, yep.
And he's
to-
like, "Meet me here. I got the meth."
Right. And James is going to meet us here, too.
Yeah.
And we're
And then
Everyone's
you can
gonna
bust
meet
them
up
and you
and
can have
shit's
the
gonna go
meth, and I
down.
can walk away and be whatever.
And in order to expedite things, that's where the ultimate bike is. The super bike.
Right, the
that
super
is
bike
like,
that
It's
goes
made out
from
of a
0 to
jet engine.
it's made out of a
200
jet engine. It looks like a fucking bullet. It's
And Ice Cube and Ford are just chilling.
they're
you
just
know.
waiting for people to show up.
Because they call Henry James and they go, come to Shane's bike place. We got your drugs, and we're going to make a deal. You can have your bikes back. And he calls McPherson, says, all right, McPherson, we're going to have Henry James come, and we're going to trap him because he's getting these drugs, and we're going to finally clear my name. And McPherson's like, yeah, man, I'm tired of this crap. I'm all beat up, sitting in this broken-ass Humvee. So, unfortunately,
oh
though,
man,
God damn it.
God damn it! Just keep going.
I think we need to make an exception
yeah,
for the
we
extra.
should be back
for the extra
underground.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an extra person, and we got a whole action scene to talk
Okay,
about.
just real quickly then.
We'll just get through it. Let's
Real
just get
quickly.
through it.
So Henry James kidnaps Shane and the two friends. There you go, guys. And he shows up, and oh my God, big twist. Who has been Henry James's partner this entire time?
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
McPherson.
Tim Burton. I'm just going to call him anything that isn't his character name.
So
And
So he shoots his partner.
he shoots
in
his
the chest.
in the chest.
because he doesn't know that she's wearing
a bulletproof
Body
vest.
armor.
body armor, even though you think he'd be totally on top of that.
And also, a bullet makes you fly 30 feet in the air into a rack of tires.
Yeah, like
that was
insane.
amazing.
I was like, what did he do? Like, shoot her with a, I don't know, an
a
I-beam or
battering
something?
ram.
That
yeah.
would go.
Yeah.
Like something, nothing can throw you like that.
No.
Right. Right. So now there's all this crazy bike fighting and like people using other people with chains to try to like. They end up hanging the second in command, Ice Cube
Right.
does. He's like,
The candy
Isn't
thief."
that ironic?
Yeah,
And,
he's
like, I don't know if he was talking about choking his brother.
yeah.
That a white guy got hung.
Like, there's a
I-
lot of
it
things.
didn't quite make sense.
And there's
But now we have the super chase.
well, the
Yeah.
super chase. Well, there's one thing that happens before that, which is the Pepsi Mountain Dew fight.
No, wait.
That's-
Before that happens,
Jesus
no,
Christ.
So much
real quick,
movie.
real quick, because this is my favorite scene.
Okay.
Oh God, I have so many favorite scenes in this movie. But Ford had taken the meth out of the motorcycles and rigged them as explosives.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
as
right.
a gamble. Henry James was able to knock him away for it. So Adam Scott has a gun on Ice Cube and Ford, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you guys. I'm tired of this crap." His partner pops up with the detonator, and she has a gun.
Yes.
And instead of just shooting him, she blows up the entire
Blows
shop.
everything up.
with her in it,
Yes,
Her in it.
literally
Yes.
everyone in this scene should be dead.
Yeah.
completely
body
dead.
armor, Bob. Body armor.
Yeah. Right.
But that happens after he rides out with the bike to
Yes.
chase down Henry.
Yes.
Right. Right.
After
At
he
this
shoots
point,
through the window in the bullet
Ford
bike.
is on the super bike,
Yeah.
driving
In front of a garage door that is
open, and he drives through
somehow
a
he, like,
window
window.
Blast
into-
through a window.
into a CGI city.
Remember when Henry James is leaving the garage and they sped the shot
Yeah.
up?
He just goes all fast, and he's on the meth bike.
Yes.
He's on the bike that had the meth
Yeah.
in it.
The
yes.
meth bike.
That didn't
Meth
work.
bike.
It
That
is a
didn't
meth
work.
bike.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's got meth bike, super biker out there in the world.
But when
the
the
shop
super
has
bike-
exploded, and I want to talk really quick about the Mountain Dew Pepsi thing
Yeah, yeah, all right,
Yes.
fine.
because
Yes.
that's amazing.
Amazing.
So
It's absolutely-
Shane fights
Shane
Jamie
fights Shane-
Presley
yeah,
on the
or-
bikes.
Yeah, bikegasm.
And when it starts, they're each at the end of like it looks like they're
it
next
looks
to
like
a
they're
dock.
under. It looks like
under a bridge. It
they're
looks like
under
they're
a highway,
An overpass.
an overpass,
right
and-
next to a bunch of water.
and there's like kiosks on the sides of them.
It's like people sell vegetables in crates. It's
Shit.
insane.
It's insane. But behind each one of them is a giant billboard of Mountain Dew and Pepsi. Like the shot is framed with them in the lower, like right hand
You're
corner,
looking
with
at
the
Mountain Dew and
billboard
Pepsi.
beautifully shown right behind them. It is awesome.
But then their battle takes place, and it keeps referencing those
Dew and
signs.
Like
Like,
how-
you keep seeing them.
Yeah, because they keep like going past each other. They
And
do
they
some
do all, like,
they do-
karate and
they
shit.
do
They
bike
use the
kata.
bike-
I'm gonna call it
yeah,
bike
yeah.
kata. And they like are like sword fighting with their bikes. It's
It's
just
nuts.
insanity. It's complete insanity. But it shows how short of a distance it is. It isn't that far. It's like 50 feet.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
no,
really
it's 30
short.
feet actually.
It's okay,
Yeah.
30. It's like really
It's very tiny.
very short.
And
But
they
the-
just keep circling and doing all these weird moves. But then there's a part where they're just straight chasing, driving next to each other and fighting and doing
Yeah.
all the stabbing, all
And
the
it's
fucking
edited
horse
to
shit.
go on at least like 2 solid minutes
It's
of fighting.
long.
Right. You would
They
have
do all
covered
kinds of flips and hanging off the
covered,
bikes
like,
and shit.
maybe 3 miles of territory
Yeah.
in this amount of time
And
at
when-
the speed that they're going.
And once she kicks Jamie Priestley off the bike and into a car, she comes to a stop right in front of a Mountain Dew sign.
Of course she does.
where they were fighting in between them. It was
Well,
like
what you
50
didn't
That thing
realize
felt
is
a
that
little bit
on
of
the
blood going to my
pier,
penis.
a little bit.
there was a Mountain Dew and Pepsi factory, so it's just like it's not just one single sign. It's just,
Okay.
They were actually going through the city, and those are just everywhere.
Right,
Is what you're
right,
saying.
right.
Okay,
So speaking of
okay.
going through the city, we
Oh,
have
man.
the
Here we
Uber
go.
fight.
And then the best thing in the movie happens.
Best thing, oh man,
In
it should
life.
be way more famous.
This is why it's like religion, basically. This NC is
the super
fucking
bike
lunacy.
scene is it's undescribable almost.
When he starts it up, people are literally blown away. Like 8 people just
Yeah.
get thrown off.
A girl's dress gets blown up, and you see her pants.
It's like in the Matrix when the helicopter crashes and
Yeah.
like there's turbulent displacement and everything in reality. This shit is like warping the way like the world
Windows
is.
are exploding. Car windows are exploding. Car
Dude,
tires
there's like
explode.
fire. Cars are like on fire, like the metal was.
yeah, James shoots his gas tank, and he's got that trail of fire that's following.
Which
him.
is complete horseshit.
It's insane. It's like
They're
he
going.
ruptures the gas tank. It's shooting fluid all over the street. He looks back, fires a bullet. We see it in slow motion.
Yeah.
Hit the ground and light the trail on fire. So now they're literally running from their own trail of fire at this point.
which is
Through
pointless
a
because it doesn't
CGI
end
city.
with anything.
Well,
Is that why they explode?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
well,
is why
yeah.
they explode.
It
It
is
is,
why
but
they
remember what
explode.
happens is that they're going what I would say like 200-300 miles an
Oh,
hour.
Well, they
300
said-
at least.
300.
They said
It
the
has
has
to be
to go to
going
200 miles an hour in 10 seconds.
yeah.
They gotta be going like 500 miles an hour or something.
Dude, it's like Tron, but in a city.
Yeah,
It's
they're
insanity.
still dodging traffic
The
somehow.
fact, I mean, this scene is what cements it as obviously they were making a comedy because there's no way anyone taking
You are
it
not
seriously.
driving 200 miles through L.A. and not killing.
killing everything and yourself.
Yeah.
So remember, he hits a ramp because he hits like it's a car.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It's like a pickup
Tow truck?
Tow
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
And it's got the bed down.
It does.
He flies up into the air on the super bike.
Correct.
Flips it on its side.
Puts it on its side, lands on top of
The villain.
the villain.
Henry
And I
James.
think that's what killed him.
Yeah.
Dude,
It had
can
to,
you
but I
even
mean,
see
it
what
blew
was
up
happening?
anyway. You
You
couldn't
couldn't.
tell it was such shitty CGI. They
Yeah,
were going 400
right.
miles an hour.
Which makes it amazing.
I mean, it
that's
looks-
why I
They should have
loved it.
disintegrated.
It looks like a mid-90s CGI movie at that
Yeah,
point.
it-
Like
right.
a cutscene from a Sony PlayStation game.
Which is I love the audacity to make this scene is awesome. Like
Yeah.
the fact that you would even do it is insane. He lands on him sideways, and they're still going at full speed, like
Yeah.
300 miles an hour. In which eventually the fire catches up to
I
them.
guess.
Is that
It
what
does.
happened?
It does because when he does this epic leap like an angel trying to reach heaven. he lands on Henry James and his bike explodes, propelling him into the air. And then he
Oh,
he
yeah.
stretches his arms
we
like
have the
Christ.
Carpe Diem.
Carpe
like
diem,
like
man.
Christ. He lands on the ground as a bus is pulling up towards him at a very fast speed. And the bus just stops as the tire touches his beautiful
His
face.
cute little cheek.
And he looks and he's like, I made it. I'm
He would
okay.
be paced. He flew off that bike going hundreds of miles an hour. The air should have ripped the skin off
Dude,
of
the
his
concussion
bones.
from that explosion would have killed him.
Yeah, I mean-
everything would have killed him. He was going
to hit that truck bed going at speed would fucking destroy that bike. He hit him flat right then and there.
Yeah, he would have went through the truck bed and exploded. It was
Yeah.
insane.
None of that could have happened.
Yeah,
During the
no.
race, we saw that where it went through the truck.
Yeah, it's
that was
true.
the through the truck shot, which was insanity.
That was the ghost dad shot. Like, oh, we're not gonna move the camera. We're just gonna go through
whatever
a
single
truck.
way.
Yeah.
Because he's going so fast.
Do you
Fuck,
think?
man.
Time and space no longer.
I mean,
relate.
I don't know about you guys, but honestly, when it comes down to it,
Man, damn it,
when it
sorry.
comes down to it,
I
This
just
is
now
a-
I wish
this
there
is
was
my
like a
favorite-
cameo of the Wizard of Time and Speed and
Oh my
Space just
God.
runs,
Man,
runs
that'd be
past them
awesome.
while they're
if
racing.
there's somebody who makes the Wizard or remakes the Wizard of Speed and Time, this guy needs to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
This is gonna be the best movie ever made. And he can only use CGI from that period. He can't get any newer. I was gonna say though, when it comes down to it, this is my favorite remake of Dead Poet Society.
Sure.
I didn't get that joke.
Oh,
Shut
man.
up. Come on.
So yeah, the guy blows up. They're all fine. Her shop's destroyed. They go to Mexico and fuck a bunch, I guess.
The end.
Well, their lives are
end.
perfect now. He
Their
lived.
lives are
He was a
garbage.
human bullet, and he lived.
Human.
Okay, the one thing about Torque that I will admit is kind of problematic. They act at the end. They act at the end like like everything's okay. They're gonna spend at least 10 to 15 years for Grand Theft Auto for taking that stock car and destroying
Oh, yeah.
thousands of dollars
Oh,
on
they're
property.
still going.
They're gonna be in
That's
Mexico.
why they're going
Who
to
gives a
Mexico.
fuck?
They
Yeah.
gotta get the fuck
They
out
still
of
gotta
there.
leave. Yeah, it's
They
not
are
a
still need
stay.
to flee.
By the way, can you? I know we're at the very end. Can we talk about the bizarre exchange between Ice Cube and Ford at the very, very end of the movie?
Oh yeah.
Because Ice Cube essentially threatens his life, and Ford acts like they're best friends.
Yeah. He's like, don't you ever come around Inglewood. And he's like, we're pals. They also shake hands twice.
They do, and the
They
camera
do like a bro grab, and then they're like, also, thanks again, even though I just said
Well,
thanks.
it's the handshake. That's the
Handshake.
titular torque.
That's
The torque of their handshake.
You know what? You know
God
what?
damn it.
Sometimes I wonder where did that fist bump come from in Brick Mansions?
It came from Torque.
It came from Torque.
But
Yeah.
that, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I'm
I
sorry.
like how we
heaven.
mentioned like 5 movies that we could do on this show. in this thing.
I feel like this guy's probably seen all these movies.
I'm surprised he didn't. He probably made Brick Mansions. I don't even think
No,
that-
he didn't. He
No.
did
He
not.
didn't?
No, he did not. I would.
Oh.
I would know because I
think
would
that was
love.
like
I would
Oliver
love Brick
Megatron or
Mansions as much as I love Torque. Hey man,
Brick Mansions was amazing.
it was great.
This movie was amazing. I liked it a lot.
I'm a huge
yeah,
fan.
it's
I don't
fun.
understand why more people haven't
I
seen
think
it.
this is a great comedy. Straight up.
Sure. And
Absolutely.
it's short. You know,
It's short as shit.
It's an hour and 24 minutes.
It's
I mean, that's
right,
pretty
right.
standard length.
Yeah, it just feels
You
short.
always just used to all these fucking epic horse shit movies that are coming out now, and everything's got to be 2.5 hours
I
long.
seriously saw The Hobbit 3 last night.
I hate you.
Oh.
Which,
For what reason?
Because I like it. It's not the
You're an
answer to you.
idiot.
Yeah.
You're a fool.
Everyone that doesn't like what Matt likes is an idiot. So, like, if you like 90% of life,
Get off my porch.
Bob,
that was like 4 hours long. This is like,
Are you
this
serious?
no, it wasn't. But this
Bob,
felt like nothing.
don't be such a
comparatively.
racist, man. Seriously. Whatever.
Yeah. All right, nacho guy.
What?
I hope
He
the
was
mold-
eating
I know where
Doritos.
sushi comes
He
from,
was
Bob.
eating
I know
Doritos.
where sushi comes from.
All your racist Ice Cube impressions this entire time. Listen.
Whatever. That's
Let me,
how he talks.
Let me just say this right here.
Not
Just
them.
because you
I didn't
sound like
say
a black
them.
comedian's impersonation of a white person.
Oh, that's good, Matt. Now it's a distinction without a difference. That's horrible.
Dude, I'll say it. I fucking hate white people. Fuck you. Whitey. Cracker.
A white lawyer.
Cum skin.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Really?
So white,
That's
man.
so
Nobody likes
mean.
any of this.
does that mean?
Well, I'll say this. In 50 years, when I'm recording the commentary track for the Criterion Collection of Torque, I'll remember this night fondly, guys. So, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome. Thanks
Thanks.
for fucking putting us in danger of the mole man.
Yeah. We're going to die now when we get back down
The
there.
doors are closed. Do you understand what you've done?
We got to dig a wormhole down
Yeah.
there now.
I'm glad we started a hole last week because we'll probably be able to finish before the sun
Yeah,
goes
it's been
down.
pretty bad lately. We've been going over our limits here.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Getting-
enough. That's enough of Torque. Bye.
Bye, Kathy
Bye.
Carson.
Bye.
What?
You have just listened to Bonus Disc. Questions, comments, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts and guests of Bonus Disc are 100% valid because they sit high atop Judgment Mountain. So quit your whining.